Right then, gents, it's that time. I suppose we better discuss the Cheltenham Gold Cup. A quick show of betting. Tarr 3-1 favourite, Galvin 4-1, Millennium Indo 11-2, Protector at 8-10-1 bar. But Galvin, this is the thing when you're growing up as a jockey. I guess you dream of when you're out injured. You dream of things like this coming back. You came back at Christmas. It was an amazing occasion, and looking to add one more Gold Cup to the mantelpiece in the Russell front room, I would suppose. Yeah. You've always said. I remember when we did these a couple of years ago, and I won't say you got beat. I'll say you came second on him behind Imperial Aura, and coming to last, you couldn't believe in a million years you were going to get beat with him.
That's right.
You couldn't believe it, could you? The powers of my own, that we spoke about that regularly. And then you went back the next year, and Julie got the job done. He won that National Hunt Chase. He won it well, and you had the brilliant performance over Christmas. And now what, we're 2 and a bit weeks away from 20% chance of winning a Gold Cup. Tell us. Do you try and not get run away? Do you try and not get excited? Do you allow yourself to look forward to it? How do you deal with the emotions of being on an anti-post second favourite for the Cheltenham Gold Cup?
Oh, it wouldn't have any bearing on me. I don't have much respect for them bookies and their prices.
Neither do I.
I think a lot of it is rubbish. So.
Take it to the last video for that, isn't it?
Cut.
We need that.
Yeah.
No, look, I don't look.
Do you try not to let yourself think about it a lot, or you just don't because you're busy with the kids and running all the other horses?
Yeah, just so much going on. There's just so much going on. That's to be honest. Like, obviously, I look at it and we'll know more closer to the day and what is going where. You've ground conditions. You've so many variables. You'd be climbing the walls if you were thinking about it now. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't bother with it. To be honest, I probably won't even look at the declarations when they're done, because they're obviously the 48 hour now, so I'll have another day in between, and then that night before I'll try and dissect it, because it's not like I won't do anything. There's nothing I will do to change a Plutard or Manila Indo or whatever the other horses are. I have no bearing on what they do, so I can only mind my own business and then wait till declarations come out and see what happens. Try and come up with a plan.
You've got a Triumph Hurdle to win an hour and a half before that.
There's loads of racing, and then you have to plan your day. It's actually loads going on. You have to ride out that morning. You have to pack all your bags because you're going home that night. You have to, your flight.
You don't have to go home that night.
Oh, you do. They're racing the next day, so it's just so
racing
much.
Next day. I thought you were going to say they're telling the kids, but no, racing the next day will get you home.
No, it will be racing. Oh, well, the show keeps going on, So, and then you just try and ride it as another race. It's a 3 mile, 2 furlong.
So if we look into the race, you've got a Plutard who's fantastic last year. Manila Indo, Protector that is a young progressive horse coming through. Got Album Photos, won it a couple of times. Tornado Blue, put a spanner in the works in the King George. It's a top class race.
Oh yeah, a hell of a race, and they all have to get there, and my lad has to get there in one piece. But he's a good order. I schooled him last week. He felt really well. If you were to say it to me last year, I'm sure everybody would have thought the same. This lad will win a Gold Cup. You'd say, he's good enough to run the Gold Cup, but whether he win it, but he just keeps on improving. He loves Cheltenham. He wants to please you, and he just could be the horse that you're looking for a Gold Cup. It's very hard to, get that specific article. But he stays really well, that we know you need to, and he loves the track.
Course form.
Yeah, he's got course form, and he's in good form. He's trained by a master, and he does like to be fresh. Yeah, so I think someone will tell you that, is there a stat there that no horses won the Gold Cup that didn't run in the same calendar year or something like that, but I tell you, all of them, they're there to be broken.
They're there to be broken, indeed. Bill?
Yeah, great race.
Proper World Cup,
really good, really good World Cup. Galvin is everything you look for in a Gold Cup winner. I've been lucky enough to work with Davy for a good number of years now, and he's the perfect partnership, because you've got a horse that loves Cheltenham that's going to be held up out of a frenetic pace, that's ridden by, I don't think anyone rides Cheltenham better than Davy. And I'm not just saying that because he's sitting there, but they really will gel as a partnership. And the fact that he comes here on the back of winning a National Hunt Chase 12 months ago shows that, us as racing fans around Davy, when you're standing there lucky enough to watch a Gold Cup, you're watching these horses coming pretty legless to the second last and making their way to the last. There isn't a horse in this field for me that will see the trip out better than Galvin. So if he's in touching distance, I think the others are all in serious danger. I respect Tarr, I respect Manila Indo, even on the comeback trail. I still think this horse, like he showed last time at Christmas in Leopardstown, where he wore them down, I think he has all the potential to wear them down. But like Davy says, they've all got to get there. We're still 2 weeks away. They've got to prove their well-being. We could have 5 days of rain. You just don't know what's ahead. But the stars are aligned for him to make a big go at winning this. I mean, you can make cases for Protectorat. He's stepping up in trip for the Skeltons. Tornado Flyer, slightly forgotten horse. He's won a King George. Who knows what he's going to do over 3 miles, 2.5. But the safest play and the one that screams out potential Gold Cup winner is Galvin.
Well, going on to the liabilities, Galvin's our biggest loser, which is fantastic. We made a very decent bet at 6-1. That was after Davy had a peach of a ride in the Savills. So we had a very decent bet at 6-1 there. So he would be the biggest loser and one of the biggest losers of the festival, actually, Galvin. Protectorat and Manila Indo would be the other losers. Manila Indo was really well backed after coming second in the Irish Gold Cup. Henry's weren't in great nick at the time and looked a really nice prep run. It was the first time that he'd come back to form, really, because he'd ran a couple of stinkers, one in the King George. So he was the kind of eye catcher and the one that people latched onto in the market. In terms of my selection, I really like Protectorat. He's an improving 7-year-old, loved the trip, versatile ground-wise. I just loved his run in the it was the Many Clouds, wasn't it, at Aintree. I know he's beaten Native River, who's since been retired.
Beat a 15
I know, but by absolute miles. I wouldn't discredit him for coming second in a Paddy Power either.
I was going to say that's the fourth. Yeah. He achieved more than Long Run achieved. I think Long Run was fourth, wasn't he?
He was beaten.
He was beaten out of sight, and this fella wasn't. I mean, it was a serious run.
He should have won that day as well, and he made a Horlicks of the 6th. He almost came down at the 6th. I was there that day, and for him even to get close to Midnight Shadow, I think it was that day, was a fantastic run, staying on all the way to the line. I think he'll love this track and trip, and he'll just be a really strong traveller. I just want Harry to hold on to him as long as possible. I do fear Goward. He's the most solid out at the top of the market. You could even have him shorter than Aplutar. I guess punters are just thinking that Aplutar might improve for the hopefully better Henry form than it was over Christmas, hence why he's 3-1 and Galvin's 4-1. But I think he's got a shape for a fantastic race. I really fear Galvin, especially liabilities wise, but Protectorat would probably be the one for me.
What do you make of Manila Indo, who, but look, it probably wasn't her finest hour in the King George, but it bounced back slightly last time out of Leopardstown. It was a good race. He was delighted with your boy.
Long Run was third, by the way. He was third to Little Josh.
So not fourth. So is that 2 all-on errors in the recording?
Still miles behind in mistakes. No, I thought that Manila Indo was better. I still think...
But not quite the level you need.
He's not quite there. I have a feeling that Protectorat could be the biggest danger to Davy.
Did we talk about album photo?
Funny enough, I was at Willie Mullins' yard earlier in the week, and when Willie said he's not happy with him, he probably is quite happy with him.
He says fancy shocking Poursoir and starts knocking album photo, you're in trouble then. Album photo burning up together.
What's funny is that he said, I'm really unhappy with him, I wish he was in a better place. And then I looked on Oddschecker and he shortened up the whole way, lost the line. Someone thinks he's in a decent place. But he could bounce back too. But it's are these horses past their prime? Is this the year for Galvin, or do you go back to the past? The Protectorat and Galvin bring new form to the race, and that's where I'd be heading rather than going back to the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Chantry House, where does that go?
Well, Davy, you've always been keen on
the gamble on Chantry House in the King George was madness. The amount of money that day. I don't think JP had any lunch that day. I can't have had a stick to eat because it was everywhere. 7, 6. What place to go? 3 to 1 favourite the King George.
Yeah, I thought at the start of the year that he was the Gold Cup horse.
Yeah,
I have been a bit disappointed with him, but he won the same day champ was second, didn't he? Yeah, and I think there's. I know. Look, you're looking. The form is not ideal. They put on the cheap pieces for a reason, but I just think Nicky's horses that day are going to improve tons for that day. You know, whereas.
Well, just on that, Nicky Henson said the other day that it was his mistake that the horse didn't wear cheap pieces. Both AP and Nico de Boinville said that it should wear cheap pieces at Kempton. They didn't wear them and they put them back on. It was a better performance. It was still a bit laboured though. Still, you'd like to have seen him gone clear of Santini.
He got straight off him at the end, didn't he, as well? I think he put it all in,
it
but
just didn't look...
wasn't flashy by any chance.
He didn't scream Gold Cup in it.
No.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at him here. He was third in a Supreme Novices. I just don't know where the lack of speed has gone.
I was there to Abracadabra and
Shishkin, yeah, and
Course form.
He's beaten Shan Blue 32 lengths. He's beaten the Big Breakaway 37 lengths, and he's beaten Santini 2.5. I think there just could be a little bit left in him. Yeah.
Well, I think. Watch the market that day. That would be the key for Chantry House. But look, we could go round and round and round in what is a fabulous Gold Cup on paper. I'm sure we'll be in reality as well. But I think it's plain to say that we'll all be rooting for you. It's a big day for you. We know that, and we wish you all the best of luck.